for all the dads enjoying the day with their families, and for all those grateful for the lasting positive impact the father has had on their lives. Major League Baseball and your Texas Rangers are proud to raise awareness of prostate cancer on Father's Day with the Home Run Challenge. Now, welcome into the Emerald City of Seattle, Washington, where the Rangers are looking for a clean sweep. They go for 3 in a row over the Mariners here this afternoon. And welcome in, everyone, along with Tom Gray, Steve Busby. Glad you could join us for the Sunday night afternoon of Rangers baseball. And the Rangers looking for that sweep here today. They won the first 2 by 1 run each ball game, and this afternoon should not be much different. A good pitching matchup is in store. But the Rangers have something, Tom, going for them. They have a hot Shin-Soo Choo on hand, and that's something they haven't had for a while.
No, you're right, Buzz. Earlier in the year, he was one of the hottest hitters, maybe the hottest hitter in the American League. He fell upon some hard times, probably because of the ankle injury that he had. But the last 3 days, he's showing some signs of coming out of it. Starting to get the head of the bat out and drive the ball a little bit. 4 for 10. He's had a couple of big hits with men in scoring position. Continues to walk. He's driven in 4 runs. Hopefully, Buzz, the last 3 days is a good sign of things to come, because the Rangers really need him to be productive, batting third in the lineup.
Yeah, they have not scored a lot of runs in this series, but they've made the runs they have scored stand up. And it'll be up to Nick Martinez this afternoon to make that happen once again. He'll be backed up by Elvis Andrus and company as the Rangers try to make it 3 in a row over the Mariners. We'll have more from Safeco right after this. Is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Take the EcoBoost Challenge to see why Ford is the best in Texas. By AT&T U-Burst TV. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT. Mobilizing your world. By the all-new Mazda 3 with seamless connectivity. And by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. Now, the roof is closed. Scattered showers in the area will not affect the playing of this baseball game with that roof over our heads. The Rangers and the Mariners getting set to hook it up, and let's head down to the field. John Radigan is standing by. John?
Yeah, Buzz, to celebrate this Father's Day. Of course, a difficult day for baseball players when they can't be with their families, but through the miracle of modern technology, most of them have connected with their kids or their dads, including tonight's catcher, Chris Jimenez.
I still got to FaceTime with him this morning, and, he jumps on the phone and says, Happy Father's Day, and, it just kind of melts your heart, and it makes you realize really kind of what, baseball's not the most important thing, but being a good father and a good, role model to him is the most important thing.
All together now, and everybody says, "Aw, isn't that sweet?" And it really is. It's a great day for new fathers and for the sons who have also contacted their own fathers. We'll hear from some of them later in the game. For now, it is time for one last break before we bring you the lineups in the first pitch. It's the finale and a chance to sweep the Rangers and the Mariners.
Brewers TV. And the Mariners have taken the field at Safeco here this afternoon. Rangers and Mariners both coming in at an even 500 clip, 34 and 34. They are both trailing the Oakland A's by 7 full games. We'll take a look at the Southwest Airlines Texas Rangers starting lineup. Leonis Martin leads off. He's in center. Elvis Andrus back at shortstop. Shin-Soo Choo in left field. Batting cleanup is the third baseman, Adrian Beltre. Alex Rios is in right. Brad Snyder at first. The catcher is Chris Jimenez. Luis Sardinas gets the start at second base, and batting ninth, the designated hitter, Donnie Murphy.
And we'll look at the Sonic scouting report for one of the best pitchers in the American League, Hisashi Iwakuma. He's had 8 starts this year, 4-3 with an excellent 2.79 ERA. He has excellent command. He averages only a little bit over 13 pitches per inning. That's the fewest among American League starters. Back on May 20th in Texas, he had an excellent game against the Rangers. He got the win, less than 100 pitches. He threw 8 innings, 6 hits in that game, and only a couple of runs. So he's a guy that pounds the strike zone with a good sinker, good assortment of off-speed pitches, and he has proven in a couple of years to be one of the better pitchers in the American League.
Well, the veteran right-hander who's been with the Seattle Mariners now for the last 3 years, getting set to make the start here this afternoon. Basically a fastball splitter type pitcher with a good assortment of off-speed pitches when he chooses to go to the curveball. Well, Leonis Martin getting set to step in and lead off here this afternoon. Martin, as you can see, not much success against Iwakuma, just 1 for 12. But Leonis coming off a 2-hit night last night. We are underway with the first pitch. And a towering pop-up in foul territory down the first base side. And the second baseman, Willie Bloomquist, over there right at the railing to make the grab. So one pitch and one tall out for Leonis Martin. Let's take a look at the progressive Mariner defense this afternoon behind Iwakuma. Ackley is in left, Jones in center. Chavez gets the start in right. You saw Morrison and Bloomquist after that towering foul pop-up. Brad Miller, the shortstop. Kyle Seager at third, and Mike Zunino is catching. No, one out. Here comes Elvis Andrus. Elvis had a partial night off last night handling the DH chores. Steps in batting at .262 overall. 1 ball, no strikes. Elvis 3 for 9 in the first 2 games of this series. Took a 1 for 5 yesterday. He had 3 strikeouts in that ball game. 1-0 pitch from Iwakuma. Now 2-0. Elvis brings a 5-game hitting streak into play here this afternoon. That average, as you can see, at .364 for those 5 games. Gone 8 for 22. There's a fastball at the knees. It's 2-1.
And so far early in the game, his velocity is way down, 84 to 86 with his fastball. He's never been a flamethrower, but the times we've seen him, it's generally been a tick higher than that.
And the next pitch on the outside corner, coming up a little bit. 2-2 now to Elvis.
When the Mariners signed him a few years ago, he came over from Japan, is obviously a great pitcher in Japan, but he didn't crack the rotation. It's almost like they didn't know what they had. He was pitching kind of in mop-up relief.
There's that splitter, and Elvis not able to make contact. He is gone for out number 2.
He had 14 relief appearances before he ever went to the rotation. Take another look at the pitch that finishes Elvis off. You can see it dip right at the end as he swung over it. But then when he joined the rotation, he was great. 16 starts. He went 8-4 with a 2.65 ERA. And that's basically how he's pitched since then. Over 57 starts. That's pretty much the same winning percentage and same ERA. Very consistent with excellent command.
There is Shin-Soo Choo. He rips at the first pitch. Didn't get it. It is 0-1. Choo at 263 overall. 6 home runs. 23 driven in. He's had fairly good success against Iwakuma, going 2 for 7. Next pitch is a little bit low. That was the splitter. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jew in the last 3 games, 4 for 10. That was on the heels of that 1 for 27 streak that Jew had in that last homestand. Fouls it out of play to the left. And Iwakuma with the advantage in the count and a ball and 2 strikes. Shin-Soo 1 for 3 in both games of this series so far. 1-2 pitch. Check swing roller. It's going to stay fair. Zunino pounces on it and fires the first. Well, that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning for Hisashi Iwakuma. Rangers out in order after a half inning. Rangers nothing. Mariners coming up on Fox Sports Southwest. In the home run challenge, and every home run that's hit this afternoon raises $15,000 for prostate cancer research. You can make a pledge by going online to homerunchallenege.org. So far, $1,800,000 has been raised through your pledges. And we appreciate this support. Hope all you dads out there are having a memorable and safe holiday, enjoying time with your family and loved ones, and our very best to all of you. Nick Martinez to the hill. He will take on the Mariners here this afternoon. Endy Chavez leading things off. And the first pitch from Nick Martinez is a knee-high strike. Chavez saw in each of the first two games as a pinch hitter / pinch runner, hitting .190. No home runs, a couple driven in. Martinez back to the plate. And a line drive down the right field line. That's going to be in there for extra bases. Chavez can really motor. He is at second and puts the brakes on as Rios gets the ball back in. But a leadoff two-bagger for Endy Chavez. That's how the Mariners' day gets underway.
He got jammed a little bit, but he hit it to the right part of the ballpark. Alex was playing over toward right center field. Ball's in on his hands a little bit. Kind of muscles it into the outfield, down the right field line. Looked like he might have a shot for a triple as far as Alex had to go to get to it. But he closed on it quickly, and with nobody out, they did not want to take a chance on having an out made at third base.
So Chavez aboard his fourth double of the year. And now James Jones, the center fielder, comes up. Jones had batted leadoff in the first two games of this series. First pitch to him is a tailing fastball that's just a bit outside for ball one. Jones at .283 with the average. No home runs, 6 driven in. Endy Chavez at second. Right there at the bottom of your screen, getting the lead. And that pitch low and outside. It's 2-0.
A Sonic report on Nick Martinez. He's had 12 games, 7 starts, .463 ERA. His last 2 starts, he's given up 4 home runs and an ERA close to 15.
Bunt is popped up. Beltre calling Nick Martinez off. Makes the catch, and that's a very big out, number 1.
I'll say. First guy doubles, go to 2-0 on the next hitter, and he pops up a bunt, trying to move him over to third base.
And Nick Martinez, his second baseman instincts kicked in, and Beltre said, "No, get out of here, kid. You're pitching now."
And the last tidbit on our Sonic scouting report for Nick Martinez: he's pitched well in the daytime. He's had 3 starts and 1 relief appearance at .279 ERA. So he's pitching in the daytime in a pretty good pitcher's park against a team that's struggling offensively right now. So hopefully that'll be a good combination this afternoon for Nick as he tries to get back on track.
Well, a test here in the early going with Robinson Cano taking ball 1. Cano, the league's leading hitter now, back up at .331. 3 home runs, 36 driven in. He had a big RBI last night to tie the ball game before the Rangers pushed across a 9th inning run to win for the second time in a similar fashion. There's a little tap around in front of the plate. And an easy play for Chris Jimenez. Staying at second is Chavez, and that's about the 3rd time we have seen Cano do that in this series. Hit a little tapper. Well, that is out number 2, and we'll take a look at the rest of the Mariners batting order. You've seen Chavez, Jones, and Cano. The rest of it has Logan Morrison. Coming up now, he's the cleanup hitter. Kyle Seager follows, and Mike Zunino. Dustin Ackley bats 7th. Willie Bloomquist, the second baseman, is 8th. And batting 9th, the shortstop, Brad Miller.
It's also the second time today that the 3rd place hitter in the lineup has done that. A little tapper back to them right out in front of the plate that the catcher has turned into an out.
Logan Morrison batting 147. Takes strike 1. Morrison, a home run, a couple driven in. Lloyd McClendon was talking about the long rehab assignment that Logan Morrison had after coming back from the hamstring problem. He said that he felt that the 16 or 17 games that Morrison had at AAA on his rehab would help him get to the big leagues to swing the bat better. He lines this one to left, but backing up, Shin-Soo Choo to make the grab, and a very good job of pitching around the leadoff double by Nick Martinez. The Mariners strand a runner were scoreless after 1. The Globe Life Park in Arlington, well, now's your chance. You can support the Texas Rangers Foundation and have a once-in-a-lifetime experience at Fantasy Camp. That's coming up September 18th through the 21st. You take the field in Major League uniforms with your favorite Rangers, former Rangers, I should say, and for a preview of Fantasy Camp, make a $100 donation and participate in the mini camp on June 20th. Just visit TexasRangers.com/fantasy for more information. Scoreless ball game. Rangers come to bat in the top of the second inning. The middle third of the order, Beltre, Rios, and Snyder to face Hisashi Iwakuma. Strike is thrown. It is 1-1 to Adrian.
Iwakuma's only walked 6 batters in 8 starts to go along with 41 strikeouts. He has no walks in 4 of his 8 starts this year.
Off the fist out toward short. Miller. Quick release, and Beltre is retired. 1 gone.
In 34 of his 57 career starts for the Mariners, he's walked 1 batter or less. So that's kind of the hallmark of his game. Excellent command with his pitches. And that was an 88-mile-an-hour fastball. Doesn't do much to light up a radar gun, but a very effective 88-mile-an-hour fastball that jammed Adrian. A little ground ball to shortstop.
You know, his repertoire kind of reminds you of Koji Uehara. Not overpowering fastball, but he throws a lot of high fastballs, and with the splitter combination, that's pretty tough to lay off that splitter that starts up and then dives down.
Yeah, he's definitely a guy that you just pay no attention to the radar gun. Really doesn't even enter into the equation with him.
0-1 pitch to Rios. That's hit hard behind third. Flagged down by Seager. He sets and fires across the diamond. Nice play by Kyle Seager at third base.
It seems like we've seen Iwakuma a couple of times, and when his fastball has been 89, 90, 91-ish. So it's down a tick from there, but not much noticeable difference in the way he's thrown the ball right now as far as results go.
No 2 ground balls and 2 quick outs for Iwakuma here in the second inning, and Brad Snyder steps in. Snyder getting his 4th start at first base for the Rangers. And first ball swinging, he drives one deep to left center field. Going back and gone. Snyder going the other way with a home run off Iwakuma, and the Rangers lead it 1-0.
Well, we were thinking last night might be the night that Brad drove one out of the ballpark. He had a great start in AAA with 18 home runs. You mentioned the ball he hit in the upper deck here in batting practice to right field. And for good measure this afternoon, he shows he's got some power going the other way, too. He drove one into the bullpens out in left center field. Oh, nice swing. Great feeling for Brad. Puts the Rangers ahead 1-0.
Well, you don't see many left-handers in this ballpark drive the ball out to left field or left center. That is a long belt right over the 376 mark. Here's Brad Snyder with his first home run in a Ranger uniform. Rangers on top 1-0. And Chris Jimenez, the catcher, takes outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Looks like a pretty good pitch to hit near the middle of the plate. And Brad puts a powerful swing at it. And
a ground ball in the hole at short, and Miller couldn't come up with it. He went into that little slide and was going to field it and pop up, and never got the ball in the glove. That'll be a base hit for the hot-hitting Chris Jimenez.
Another look at the pitch. He's thinking, I got that one pretty good. Did I get enough of it? And there's your answer. 382 feet. Yeah, that way of fielding a ground ball at shortstop has become more and more popular over the last 10 years, where the shortstop to stop slides, bounces up to make the throw, as opposed to reaching down, planting your right foot, and coming up and throwing. Not all shortstops play it that way, but I've seen a lot of them, more and more of them do it that way. Didn't work that well for Brad Miller on that one.
And the first pitch is in and over to Luis Sardinas.
Does give you a better chance of missing out on an error, though, if you slide. If you reach down to try to backhand it and miss it, I think you've got a better chance to get an error than you do when you slide. Make sure that that motivates the slide to try to catch the ball, but it seems to be a byproduct of it anyway. And this would have taken a good play to make that play, but that's a play that you expect a big league shortstop to make. Maybe not routinely, but more often than not, for sure. Bend over, catch the ball, plant, and throw to first base. Not sure it required that kind of a slide to catch it.
0-2 pitch to Sardinas, and that is outside. Going back to that Snyder home run, that's Brad's first major league home run. Checking the numbers that he had with the Cubs, and he did not have a home run in the National League. So that goes in the books, in the record books for Brad Snyder, the first one at the major league level. 1-2 pitch, and the count is even to Sardinas.
And it bounced back on the field, didn't it? So hopefully he got it back.
Yeah,
it's either in the bullpen or on the field. So hopefully the Mariners in the bullpen or on the field tossed it back in so he could get that ball.
Congratulations to Brad Snyder getting his first in his career, and he waited a few years for that. 2-2 pitch from Iwakuma. Called strike 3. Sardinas got fooled, that pitch coming back to the inside corner. That'll do it. But Brad Snyder gets the Rangers on the board. His first home run as a Ranger and as a big leaguer. 1 run on 2 hits, 1 left. After 1.5, Rangers 1, Mariners nothing. Have it shown on one of our upcoming broadcasts, thanks to the good folks at AT&T. Just use hashtag Southwest Fan Photo, and your photo might be selected to be aired during the season. We'll have today's selection a little bit later on this afternoon. And Rangers leading 1-0 as the Mariners come to bat here in the bottom of the second inning. Kyle Seager, Mike Zunino, and Dustin Eckley. Brad Snyder with his first big league home run got the Rangers on the board. First pitch from Nick Martinez, who has a 1-0 lead with which to work, is low and outside to Seager. Mariner third baseman hitting at .247. He's the team leader with 9 home runs and 39 driven in. Off speed, and that's a bit low. 2 balls, no strikes to count. Seager waiting. Martinez reading the signs. Now the 2-0 pitch. That's a knee-high strike. Seager 2 for 4 in last night's ball game. And he lines one to left center field. Jew on the run. Cuts it off before it gets into the alley. And Seager held to a long single to lead off the Mariners' second inning. And we'll take a look at the Rangers' defense as delivered to you by the new Braunfels Convention and Visitors Bureau. Saw Shin-Soo Choo out there in left field running that base hit down. Leonis Martin in center. Alex Rios in right. Brad Snyder, the home run man, at first. Luis Sardinas in second. Elvis Andrus in short. Adrian Beltre at third. And Chris Jimenez is behind the plate here today. 1 on, nobody out. Here's the catcher, Mike Zunino. Zunino got the day off yesterday, and he takes a fastball at the knees for strike 1. Young catcher was 2 for 3 in the first game here on Friday night.
Yeah, he was 2 for 3 catching Felix Hernandez, and we mentioned during that game that over the season when Felix pitches and he's catching, he's hitting about 365 or 370. When he catches and Felix isn't pitching, he's hitting about 160 or 170. We'll see how he fares against Nick today without catching Felix Martinez.
See Zunino with those 7 home runs. That's the most by an American League catcher this year. 1-1 the count. Good quick move over there, and Seager just able to get back. And events like the first base coach, and Seager got up a little concerned about that move. He wasn't aware that Nick Martinez had that quick a move. 1-1. Martinez again set. And the pitch a belt high outside corner. It is a ball and 2 strikes. First time that Nick Martinez has faced these Seattle Mariners as a starter. Trying to use that to his advantage. Snap throw to first, but Seager back standing as Chris Jimenez on that high outside fastball. So, why not? I'll take a shot at him. Standing up anyway. 2-2 the count. Rangers infield shifted a couple of steps around to the left for Zunino, as is the outfield defense. Way low and outside. The count has gone full. No, with nobody out, Seager at first. Zunino trying to get aboard. Dustin Eckley, the left fielder, will follow. Three balls and 2 strikes. Martinez a belt high set. And the payoff pitch. Seager on the move. Pitch swung on a miss. The throw to second, right on the button to Luis Sardinas, and Seager just slid into the tag. Strike him out, throw him out, double play, and it doesn't matter who's behind the plate for the Rangers, Chris Jimenez or Robinson Chirinos, they are throwing out people right and left at second base.
He dropped that one right in front of the bag, pretty much dropped it right on his foot. Here comes the throw, and there's the tag. Beautiful throw. Good pitch by Nick, too. The 3-2 pitch, that ball really sunk and tailed into Zunino, who swung right over the top of it, and Chris completed a double play. One pitch, 2 outs.
And the first pitch to Dustin Ackley, a big curveball that drops in for strike one. Ackley hitting at .230, 4 home runs, 24 driven in. Fouls back the fastball, and just like that, Nick Martinez out in front of the count.
Well, the infielder loves to get the throw that accurate and in time to be able to make an easy tag like that.
One ball, 2 strikes.
We talked a lot about the Rangers' injuries. Obviously, Giovanni Soto was a big part of the team. He hasn't caught all year. J.P. Arancibia was sent to AAA. But the Rangers haven't skipped a beat behind the plate. The guys that have filled in, Robinson Chirinos, Chris Jimenez, they've caught well. Chris has hit way over 300 in his limited time here. And Robinson has had some big hits. Had a big home run last night, a 2-run homer.
Yep.
So the catching has been in good hands for these two guys.
Good breaking ball, and just getting a piece of Ackley stays alive. Bill Cuzzy, the home plate umpire, immediately throwing his hands up, indicating it was a foul tip. Well, and that replay didn't.
Yeah. Look at that reaction.
Yeah,
they're getting ready to run.
Another 1-2.
Must have been some kind of a tick because nobody said anything.
Well, sometimes you get the home plate umpire will hear the ball hit in the dirt and think it's a foul tip.
But watch Ackley right now. Watch what he does. He turns around and like getting ready to run.
Yeah. And he lines one to right field and deep. Going back is Rios. It's over his head. Up against the wall. Ackley into second. He will stop there with a 2-out double. So Ackley given new life, and he makes the most of it. His 11th double of the year has him in scoring position with 2 outs for Willie Bloomquist.
A couple of well-hit balls this inning. One by Seager, who was erased on the strike him out, throw him out, double play. And then Ackley turns on a high fastball and rips it well to right field over Alex's head. That's the kind of thing I think the Mariners were hoping to get when they made him the second pick in the draft about 45 or 50 times a year. Hasn't materialized for Ackley yet. He's getting a great opportunity to play every day and develop.
Well, here's Bloomquist, who steps in hitting at .265. First pitch to him is low for ball 1. Again, the Ranger outfield in a very much of an overshift around to the right. Jonas Martin playing in right center field and relatively shallow. Matter of fact, very shallow, as is the right fielder Alex Rios. Infield pretty much straight away.
I think that's as shallow and as big a shift as we've seen all year on any hitter.
1-0 pitch. Jimenez able to keep it around home plate, prevent Ackley from advancing 90 feet, but the count goes to 2-0. Nick Martinez given up 3 hits so far in the first inning and 2/3, 2 of them for extra bases. He was able to work around a leadoff double in the first inning by Andy Chavez with no damage, trying to work around a single and a 2-out double in this inning. Pop foul by Bloomquist. That's back into the seats. It's 2-1. Martinez, the 23-year-old out of Hialeah, Florida, by way of Fordham University. Looking in for the sign from Chris Jimenez. Shakes off one and says okay to the next. The 2-1 pitch. Inside, 3 balls and a strike. Now Bloomquist hitting 8th in the order, trying to extend this second inning. Brad Miller, the shortstop, waits in the on-deck circle. Ackley to lead from second, and Martinez checks it. Ground ball up the middle. Elvis snags it, comes up and has no place to go with it. He did save a run by going to the ground, but the Mariners now with runners at first and third and 2 outs for Brad Miller.
It wasn't hit very hard, and Bloomquist still runs pretty well. Elvis made a good choice right there. A couple years ago, 3 years ago, he might have picked that up and thrown it to first base. But if you don't have a chance to get the runner, don't take a chance on making a bad throw. Hang on to it. Goes into center field. It's a run. So he stopped the run. Still have 2 outs. If you can get Brad Miller right here, go back to the dugout with a 1-0 lead.
So 3 hits in the inning for the Mariners. Nothing across yet, and Brad Miller trying to change that. Nick Martinez trying to make sure that it doesn't happen that way. Miller hitting 179. Takes ball 1 high and away. Brad Miller started here on Friday night for the Mariners. Went 0 for 3 in that game. Martinez to the plate, fires a strike. Nick now with 33 pitches in the first couple of frames, and looked like he was going to be out this inning with a pitch count of around 26 total. Back-to-back hits with 2 outs have extended the inning a bit. That pitch is low. It's 2-1. Ackley, the runner at third, had that 2-out double into right center. He was pushed over to third by Willie Bloomquist's infield base hit. Brad Miller hitting better than his overall average with runners in scoring position this year. 233 as opposed to 179 overall. The 2-1. And a sky to shallow center field. Trio of Rangers going out. It's Elvis Andrus making the call and the catch, and that will do it. So 3 hits in the inning, 2 are stranded by the Mariners. We'll go to the third. It's still Rangers 1, Mariners nothing. Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. Join the millions of subscribers and watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices. Just visit TexasRangers.com for more details. Hisashi Iwakuma goes to work here in the top of the third inning. Donnie Murphy, the #9 hitter in the Ranger order, takes strike one. It'll be Murphy, Martin, and Andrews. First three to face Iwakuma. Murphy a rip and a miss, 0-2 the count. Donnie hitting a .211, a couple of home runs, and 11 RBI. Murphy in the original lineup was slated to start at third, but Adrian Beltre apparently talked Washington to not giving him a day off defensively.
Took him a while to do it. He was fairly close to the game when he made that decision.
Chopper foul outside third. We'll come back and try it again.
Neither team hit on the field. All the work before the game was done indoors. So maybe it took a while before Adrian had the opportunity to get loose, take some swings. Let Wash know, hey, I feel great. I'll go out there and play.
Hard to get Adrian off the field out of the lineup.
Yeah.
Yes. Murphy gone on strikes. Third strikeout for Iwakuma. One out. And Leonis Martin coming up. Time here for a Mazda game break with Dana Larson. Dana. Thank you, Dana. Here the Rangers have a 1-0 lead at the top of the order now. Leonis Martin, and pitch outside to him. Leonis swung at the first pitch this afternoon and hit a towering pop foul that was taken care of by Willie Bloomquist, the second baseman for the Mariners. A sharply hit ground ball, but pulled foul outside first, and the count is even at 1-1. Leonis' his second straight start in that leadoff spot. 2 for 4 in last night's game. A couple of stolen bases, and he created some havoc up there at the top of that order. Yes. It's a pitch at the knees here, and it's 1-2 strikes now.
We talked about Iwakuma getting the opportunity to start a few years ago after a bunch of relief appearances. Since the day he had that start, he's had 57 starts, and if you start from that point in time, he has the #1 ERA in the American League. That's about over a 2.5-year period. That's how good he's been. And he's averaged close to 7 innings a start.
The 2-2 to Martin. Outside a full count. God, he's won almost half those starts, if I remember right.
Yeah, he's 33 years old. I'm not exactly sure how major league teams viewed him coming out of Japan. I doubt he was viewed as the kind of pitcher he's become over here. Not sure if he had injury problems in Japan.
And Martin drives one through the hole on the right side. A 1-out single. Well, Leonis looked like he got that off-speed pitch up a little bit and pounded it through the hole on the first base side. He is aboard with 1 out. And Elvis Andrews coming up. How about 3 things you really need to know about Leonis Martin? He leads all American League center fielders with 15 assists since the start of last year, 2013. 8 of his 11 career home runs have come with 2 strikes. And he defected from Cuba back in the summer of 2010. Rangers signed him after he established residency. And Elvis, a check swing foul. It is 0-1.
We almost had 16 assists. Came very close to getting one last night on a play at the plate. Cano just lifted his hand up and put it right over Robinson Chirinos' glove and got the call safe at the plate. Throws a little bit off on the first base side, but strong throw. Almost had another assist.
The time called is Leonis getting his running gloves on.
Something about these outfielders from Cuba, Cespedes and Puig as well, from Oakland and the Dodgers. Both of those guys have great throwing arms too.
Should have all been pitchers as hard as they throw the ball. Wow.
It's hard to pick one over the other as far as arm strength goes. We don't get the chance to see Puig at all. And Cespedes, we see him a bunch of times, but don't see him get to throw that often. So it's hard for us to compare the other two to Martin. But if they're the same kind of throwers or better than Martin, then they can really throw.
Leona stepped that lead off at first. Iwakuma, high set. And the pitch low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Elvis. Andrus went down swinging. His first time up there. 0 for 1 today. The batting average right now at .261. Pretty good size hole on the right side of that Mariner infield. Lundqvist, the second baseman, shaded toward the bag about 2 steps. Way inside. 2 balls and a strike.
One thing that's ticked up a little bit is Iwakuma's velocity. The last 2 fastballs have been 89 and 90. Early in the game, he was 84, 85. I guess he's gotten warmed up now.
He got loose.
Got loose.
Finally. You see that from a lot of guys that are pretty competent major league starters. They'll start off a little bit slow and then creep up there as they get into the flow of the game. There's a double play ground ball to Bloomquist. Miller, jump throw, not in time as Elvis able to leg out the return. Boy, getting down there right in the lap of Brad Miller was Leonis Martin. He made Miller get up in the air to avoid the slide. Miller couldn't get a whole lot on it.
A pretty athletic play by Miller to be able to throw it that hard with the jump he had to make. And Martin's got a big lead, a good jump, good speed, and he forces that throw to be off the bag. That's pretty close. He's just barely able to get back and touch second base with his hand. That's generally the ruling. If you can't do that, then you can be ruled to be interference out of the baseline, and that would go as a double play. That was pretty close.
So Elvis aboard on the fielder's choice. We'll see if he tries to take off for second base. Shin-Soo Choo up there. Choo hit a little tapper down the third baseline that Zunino bounced on and threw him out first time up. Iwakuma, a look over his left shoulder at Andrus. And the pitch to Choo is low and outside for ball 1. Elvis 5th in the American League with those 16 stolen bases. Jose Altuve continues to lead with 24. Then Rajai Davis and Jacoby Ellsbury. Alcides Escobar of the Kansas City Royals. 1-0 pitch. 1-1. Rangers a run on 3 hits. Mariners no runs on 4 hits through the first couple of innings. Rangers have 1 on and 2 out here in the top of the 3rd. The pitch out, no action going. Elvis staying put at first base. So it looks like Elvis, at least until Choo gets 2 strikes on him, content to hang close to the bag and give Choo a shot at an enlarged hole on the right side with Morrison holding Elvis at the bag. Iwakuma nods in agreement. The right-hander is ready. There goes Elvis. The pitch is fouled away. We'll come back and try it at 2-2. Elvis had a pretty good jump. He felt he had read Iwakuma well enough to take off, but he'll have to retrace his steps. Good crowd on hand here at Safeco Field on this Father's Day. Glad you could join us. Rangers trying to complete a 3-game sweep and get their first 4-game winning streak since back in April. Now the 2-2. Elvis again moving. The pitch is top foul. Well, Andrews getting some wind sprints in. We'll have to retrace his steps once again. Rangers finish up here this afternoon. They will head down to Oakland for a 3-game series against the division-leading A's starting tomorrow night.
A's are beating the Yankees this afternoon 6-0, so they're continuing to play some great baseball.
Rangers are going to face a couple of left-handers the next 2 nights. Drew Pomeranz tomorrow night and Tommy Malone on Tuesday night. Sonny Gray will finish that up on Wednesday afternoon in Oakland.
Pomeranz is one of those under-the-radar acquisitions from Cleveland, who's turned out to be a steal for the A's. The way he's pitched, he started off in the bullpen, was pitching great. They gave him a chance to ease into the rotation. He's been doing the job there as well.
He's 5-3 with a 1.90 ERA.
He's a high draft choice by, I think it was Colorado. Top 10 draft pick. Took him a while to develop, but the third team that he's been with, the A's, are the ones that are reaping the benefits of that right now.
Chu takes the pitch low. The count has gone full, so now with 2 outs, Elvis will be off and moving with the next pitch. Chu trying to extend the inning. Adrian Beltre would be next. Morrison continuing to hold the bag against, and now he is informed by the Mariner bench. Go ahead and play behind Andrus with a full count and 2 out. That way, first baseman has a little more range backing up just a bit. Iwakuma gets the sign. He is ready. Andrus on the move. The payoff pitch. Got him swinging. What a nasty splitter. And Iwakuma gets his 4th strikeout. Rangers gone with a hit and a runner left on. 2.5 in the books. Rangers 1, Mariners nothing. Fox Sports Southwest. Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. In case it's son or forgotten, that's Dad.
That might be his dad on his left, too.
It could be. Could be. A lot of dads with some of their children making some memories out here at Safeco today. Hope all of you dads are having a great Father's Day wherever you happen to be enjoying Ranger baseball with us. Enzi Chavez leading off the bottom of the 3rd inning for the Mariners. Chavez began the game by doubling into the right field corner, and Nick Martinez had to do a little fancy footwork and work around that double with no damage done in the 1st. A ball and a strike now to Chavez, and he upped his batting average to .209 with that 2-bagger. Martinez back to the plate, and Chavez, a ground ball off the glove of Snyder, but right there is Sardinas to throw on to Martinez covering.
Nice play. Got by the first baseman, but Sardinas ranged far to his left, made a nice play, and nice play by the pitcher getting over to cover. Great timing on that play.
Yeah, with the infield experience that Martinez has, you don't ever worry about him in fielding situations as a pitcher.
No, you don't.
Didn't look like Brad Snyder got leather on that, so that'll just go as a 4-1 put out at first base. One gone, and James Jones coming up. That's one of the tough plays that I don't think you can simulate when you're talking about giving Brad Snyder a tutorial on playing first base, playing up because of the speed of Chavez and having that ball slapped to your right. That's just a reaction play that's until you see it, until you see the speed of it, it's pretty tough to figure out how you're supposed to go after it. Jones fouling it off to the left, and he's down in the count now. No balls, 2 strikes. James Jones with Chavez at second and nobody out in the first tried to bunt a 2-0 pitch and popped it up to Beltre. See Chris Jimenez saying, give me that breaking ball down in the dirt. Martinez complies. It's 1-2. Just past the outstretched glove of Brad Snyder, that roller. Nick Martinez, glove in front of his face, goes to the wide. The 1-2 pitch. Now 2-2. Jones just 2 for his last 14 times to the plate. Rangers have kept him in check, along with Robinson Cano, pretty well in this series. That's been a big part of it. We mentioned Jones hitting leadoff for the first 2 games. Today hitting second. And Cano, of course, hitting third in all 3 games. Now Martinez, another 2-2. That'll fill the count. So Jones with 1 out, trying to get aboard in front of the aforementioned Robinson Cano. Jimenez sets that target outside. The 3-2 pitch is blasted right back up the middle, a base hit. Jones a turn at first will hang on as Jonas Martin gets the ball back in. So James Jones picking on a 3-2 pitch. Gets his first hit of the afternoon. He's aboard with 1 out.
Hey, gets into a count, a fastball count. Gets a fastball up and away and got that ball on a good part of the bat and drilled it. And the one thing that Nick can continue to improve on is a little more consistency with command of his off-speed pitches, his changeup, his curveball, and slider. So the hitters don't get into as many fastball counts, force him to throw a fastball. He has good off-speed pitches, but still working to command them the way he'd like to.
But Jones with good speed at first. Here's Cano. A snap throw by Martinez drives Jones back. Robinson Cano tapped one right out in front of home plate. He was thrown out by Chris Jimenez back in the first inning. Cano at .329 with the average. James Jones inching away from first. And the pitch is high and away for ball 1. Now Jimenez going to go out and talk with Nick Martinez just a bit. This is not a situation where you can afford to have your focus split between the runner at first and Cano. You've got to be 100% focused on making good pitches to Robinson Cano. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in a real deep problem. Snyder up in front of the bag, holding James Jones at first. 1 ball, no strikes, as Martinez sets. And he gets the strike at the bottom of the strike zone. Against the Rangers this year, Cano, a couple of home runs. As a matter of fact, 2 of his 3 home runs have come down at Globe Life Park. 318 average overall against the Rangers this year. 1-1 pitch instead is a toss to first again. In his career against the Rangers, Cano is a .295 hitter. 10 home runs and 305 career at-bats. 1 on with 1 out in the bottom of the third inning. Rangers leading by 1. Pitch inside. It's 2 balls and a strike. Martinez approaching the 50 pitch mark here in the third inning. Right-hander agrees and sets. Breaking ball, and Cano checking his swing. It goes to 3-1. Well, Cano hitting in the number 3 slot. He'll be followed by the first baseman, Logan Morrison.
Here's one of those situations we're talking about. That's a good curveball he just threw to Cano, but Cano laid off it. It wasn't a strike, wasn't close enough to make him swing. So now you run the count to 3-1 against a great hitter, and that's definitely a fastball count. Does he have the confidence to throw something other than fastball? If he does throw a fastball, you have to keep it away from the middle of the plate.
If you can throw something other than a fastball, preferably a straight changeup, this is a count to do it with Cano. The 3-1 pitch to it. Taking all the way. Cano saw a fastball pass by for strike 2.
Yeah, he threw him a fastball, but he threw it in a great location. I don't know if it's a strike or not. Barely. Down and away. He got the call on it. So if you're going to throw a fastball in a fastball count, you can't get hurt too much if you throw it right there.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of whether you get the call from the umpire or not.
Well, 3-2. You would think with 1 out now, Jones will be moving on the next pitch. Quick toss over there just to see if he can get him leaning the wrong way. Jones, the Mariner team leader, with 7 stolen bases. Martinez checks him and then comes set at the belt. Long hold, the 3-2 pitch. Again a tap.
That's the same ball.
Home plate. And again, Jimenez able to bounce out there and throw out Cano. And you would think on a 3-2 pitch, that was a fastball. Cano, well, I'm not going to say he would have to know fastball's coming. He just didn't do anything with it.
No,
unbelievable.
He tailed the fastball away and he tried to pull it instead of going the other way with it, which is something he does really well, use the whole field, but he's trying to pull that ball and the ball is outside, probably not a strike, tailing away from him, and it's almost a carbon copy of the little tapper he had his first time up, and the 4th time in this series that little rollers out in front of the plate have been hit by Cano. So that just was a case of him trying to pull a pitch that you just can't pull.
Yep. Well, here's Logan Morrison now with Jones at second base and 2 out. First pitch is a little bit low for ball 1. Morrison lined to left field back in the first inning. That was the last out of the first inning. He's got a similar situation. In the first, he had Indy Chavez at second and 2 out. Now he's got James Jones at second and 2 out. Nick Martinez trying to protect that 1-0 lead that the Rangers have bestowed upon him. Right-hander checks second. And Morrison gets fisted. Hits one right down to third base. Little squib shot that Adrian Beltre takes care of. And again, Nick Martinez able to dance out of trouble. No runs, a hit, 1 left. We're going to the 4th. Rangers on top, 1-0. In a 3-game set against the Minnesota Twins. And the first 10,000 kids 13 and under will get an Elvis Andrus batting practice jersey. That's compliments of Globe Life and Accident Insurance Company. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com, or you can call 972-RANGERS to reserve your seats. Adrian Beltre starting off the Ranger 4th inning. Texas on top 1-0, and Beltre takes ball 1. Adrian, a ground ball is short as he led off the 2nd inning against Hisashi Iwakuma. Beltre, Rios, and Snyder, the first 3 Rangers to do the swinging against Iwakuma. Yes! Rip and a miss on the splitter that stayed up a bit, but Adrian couldn't make contact. For the month of June, Beltre hitting at .383 with 3 home runs and 11 RBI. This is the 13th Ranger game of the month. Fly ball shallow left. Coming on is Ackley. There in time to make the catch. And Beltre retired for the 2nd time. 1 gone for Rios.
Yeah, 2nd time Iwakuma has made a good pitch to Adrian and ran that fastball in on his fists. Got him a couple of times that way, but that's one of those things. You go to the well again. Maybe Adrian just is looking for that pitch and jumps right out in front of it and knocks it right out of the ballpark. Worked for him twice, though.
Yep. Alex Rios hit the ball sharply right down the line behind 3rd. Now Seager made a nice play on him to throw him out back in the 2nd inning. Takes a strike here. It is 0-1. Rios at .326 for the season. And a chopper to 3rd, charged by Seager. 2 gone. Rios playing pepper with the Mariner 3rd baseman. And with the bases empty and 2 away, Brad Snyder comes up. Snyder, the difference in this ball game. He pounded his first major league home run to left center field back in the 2nd inning. Would say it was 385 feet.
Yep, right into the Mariner bullpen.
That didn't have a whole lot of hang time either. That was a rope going out there. First pitch is inside to him, right under his hands. Well, our Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery, and here's how fast that ball got out of here. Snyder launched one to left center field, and it got out of here freaky fast. Jimmy John showing you a replay of that blast. 2-0 the count. Was one of just 3 hits that Iwakuma has given up this afternoon. And make that 4 hits as Snyder kind of likes it against Hisashi Iwakuma. He is 2 for 2, and he has blistered both balls.
You have to like the way he's swinging the bat right now, too. Now, here's a kid that back in 2003 was the 18th pick in the draft by Cleveland. So he was a highly touted player coming out of Ball State. Nice swing again. Pulled that ball right back through the middle. 2010 in AAA, he hit 25 home runs, knocked in 106 runs, and over the last 4 years in AAA, his batting average is well over 300. So this kid can hit, and sometimes it's just a matter of getting the opportunity at the big league level. And now he's getting the opportunity. He's playing a position he's not accustomed with, but he's in the lineup every day. And maybe this is just what the doctor ordered at age 30 or 31, to play every day and establish himself. He wouldn't be the first guy to do it a little bit later on in his career as a late bloomer. But he's really swinging the bat nicely right now against a tough pitcher, too.
Well, Chris Jimenez up there now, and he fouls the next pitch off. That is no balls and 2 strikes to Jimenez. Chris had a single to left field his first time to the plate. Well, between Brad Snyder and Chris Jimenez, the 6th and 7th hitters, they have 3 of the 4 base hits the Rangers have gotten today. Jimenez now at the average up to 395 for the season. Pitch in the dirt. Nice stop by Zunino, and the count goes to 1-2. Jimenez has hit safely in 10 of the 12 games in which he has played for the Rangers this year. He's been on base either by a hit or a walk in all 12 of them. Iwakuma, a check of first. And he comes to the plate. In the dirt again, Zunino doing a great job of blocking that splitter. That thing bounced about a foot out in front of home plate. It's one of the more difficult blocks a catcher has to make. Zunino flashing the signs out. Iwakuma nods in agreement and comes set. Up the middle, knocked down by Iwakuma. He'll lob one over to first. That'll do it. Well, the Rangers get a hit, but Strand, their fourth runner of the afternoon. We've finished 3.5 innings of play. It's the Rangers 1 and the Mariners nothing.
Back in the day when he would catch me and things like that, he'd sit on a bucket and always catch me like that. So that was something I remembered always when I was playing baseball, is that, you know, when I first started pitching, you know, it was obviously something that he'd do. He'd say, I'm going to go get a bucket and let's throw if you want to throw. And I'd go, okay. So.
Robbie Ross Jr. talking about his memories of his dad as Robbie was growing up, always being there to work with him whenever he wanted to. I'm sure all of us have those kinds of memories of our dads too, and it's on this Father's Day a great time to reflect. Hope everybody is enjoying this Father's Day 2014. Nick Martinez back out to the hill. He will go to work here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Kyle Seager, Mike Zunino, and Dustin Ackley, the first three Mariners, to take swings at Nick Martinez. Martinez has allowed 5 hits this afternoon. At least one in each of the first 3 innings, but has kept the Mariners off the scoreboard so far. Kyle Seager had one of those 5 hits, leading off the second inning. Martinez to the wide, the first pitch, breaking ball. You know, it stayed up just a little bit. Seager out in front, 0-1. Seager, a longtime nemesis of the Rangers. He is hit to a .326 clip in his career. That covers 230 at bats, and he's going to pat it here into left center field, over to cut it off. Leonis Martin, and Seager puts the brakes on as Martin does a good job of getting that ball back in quickly. But again, Seager a leadoff single.
That's almost the same ball he hit his first time up. He led off the second inning with a line drive into left center field. I believe it was Chu that cut it off and held him to a single. I think right here he's thinking double. Another pitch tailing away on the outside part of the plate. He hits the ball very well where it's pitched. And watch how quickly Martin gets to that ball, comes up firing, and forces Seager to go back to first base.
The first time Seager reached And a strike him out, throw him out, double play with Zunino at the plate. First pitch is foul back. It is 0-1. That strikeout was on a 3-2 pitch in the second. Seager on the move, and easy pickings for Chris Jimenez after the strikeout to throw out Seager. Zunino a .223 average as he faces Martinez. Got him on the fist, and that ball looped foul over the Mariners' first base dugout. And the count moves to no balls and 2 strikes. Seager with the 6th hit of the afternoon against Nick Martinez. Ranger right-hander is ready. 0-2 pitch. Popped up, foul. That's just to our left. Back into the upper deck and bounding back down to the lower deck. The Mariners have made Nick work a little bit. You know, he has shut them out through 3+. He's not had an easy time of it, getting ready to move to the 60-pitch plateau here in the 4th. Time called momentarily.
Well, the Mariners have had the leadoff hitter on 3 innings. Leadoff double in the first. They had a couple of men on, left a couple of men on in the second. Even after a double play, strike him out, throw him out.
Got him swinging, good breaking ball that time. Got it down, and Zunino strikes out for the 2nd straight time.
Well, it's an example of he's got a very good curveball. Could learn to command it a little bit better, but that comes with the on-the-job training. The kid's getting at the big league level. The kid that's barely pitched above the AA level. So what he's learning in a crash course against the best hitters in the world. That's not that easy. That was a good curveball. He's gotten Zunino twice now.
Yep, and those are the only 2 strikeouts that Nick Martinez has had. Here's Ackley, who doubled off the wall in right field his first time. He rolls one, diving, stopped by Sardinas, gets up and throws him out. Nice play by Luis Sardinas, who was playing up at double play depth, and that cuts down the lateral range. He had to go far to his left. Was able to scramble up and throw out Ackley for the 2nd out.
Well, Luis got to the big leagues with the reputation of being a very good defensive player, whether he's at shortstop or second base, and you can see why. He's also hit the ball a lot better than you might have expected for a young kid with very little AA experience. But he's shown flashes of the kind of defensive player he can become. And again, he's just like Nick. He's learning how to play baseball at the big league level.
The Mariners now with a runner in scoring position again. They have had one at least at second base in each of the first 4 innings. Martinez has kept him off the scoreboard so far. Here's Willie Bloomquist, who had an infield single his first time up, and he takes a pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Bloomquist now hitting at .274 for the season. His ground ball single was about as close as the Mariners have come to scoring this afternoon. It was up the middle with runners at first and second in the second. Dustin Ackley, who was at second, had to stop at third as Elvis Andrus dove to his left and came up with the ball. Had no play, but he kept the ball on the infield. 1-0 pitch is fouled off to the right. Nick Martinez working in some high leverage situations, as folks call it sometimes. Okay's the sign from Chris Jimenez. And just misses outside. It's 2-1 to Bloomquist. Bloomquist got the start at shortstop yesterday. Brad Miller the day off, and now Cano getting the day off at least offensively for the Mariners here this afternoon, with Bloomquist moving over to second base. In the hole this time, and again no play. Elvis Andrus going to his right this time for the infield single by Bloomquist.
Boy, there's been so many things happen in this game that have happened twice. Cano with the 2 tappers out in front of the plate. Now Bloomquist with 2 ground balls to shortstop that Elvis was forced to hang on to, just didn't have a play. With a man on second base, you make a bad throw to first, and possibly you allow the runner to score. So the safe play is what Elvis did both times. Really his only play. And now he's got to get Brad Miller. Nick Martinez has to get Brad Miller, just like he did back in the second inning. And then on first and third and 2 outs.
Are we stuck in Groundhog Day? Is that what this is?
There's been a lot of that going on.
Holy cow. 7 hits now for the Mariners in 4 innings. They've got runners at the corners. Brad Miller popped out to short in the second inning. He takes a fastball strike from Nick Martinez.
The other thing that's happened twice is Kyle Seager has hit almost the same solid line drive to left center field and been held to a single both times. And hopefully he'll end up on third base when the last out is made here in the 5th inning by Brad Miller, just like he was back in the 2nd.
0-1 pitch. Popped up. That will reach the seats, though. Unless Elvis gets a ticket, he's not going to be able to catch that one. 0-2 the count. The Mariners, and specifically Willie Bloomquist, is they're 2 for 6 with runners in scoring position today. Both of them Bloomquist infield grounders that have gone for base hits, but they have not produced a run. And Nick Martinez trying to keep it that way as he has an 0-2 count on Brad Miller. Fly ball, not hit very deeply to right field. Going out, Sardinas coming on his Rios, and he got a little snow cone. Ball right in the tip of his glove. How in the world did Sardinas get that far out there? Almost got in the way, and that'll do it. Again, the Mariners get a couple of hits, but strand 2. We're going to the 5th. 1-0 Texas. Here this afternoon, then it's on to Oakland. Night games tomorrow and Tuesday, and a day game on Wednesday. Off day Thursday, then down the coast even further, and they finish up the road trip with 3 in Anaheim against the Angels. Rangers coming to bat here in the top of the 5th inning. It'll be the number 8 hitter Luis Sardinas leading things off. He'll be followed by Donnie Murphy and Leonis Martin. Rangers a run on 4 hits. The Mariners no runs on 7 hits. They have had Nick Martinez in hot water each inning, but Nick has been up to the task, keeping them off the scoreboard. Sardinas called out on strikes his first time. The 21-year-old switch hitter up there from the left side. Iwakuma's 1-1 pitch. And chopped on 2 hops down to the first baseman, Morrison. Underhand to the pitcher covering, 1 away. Well, Sardinas 0 for 2. And Donnie Murphy now will step in. Murphy a strikeout as he led off the Ranger third this afternoon. First action that Donnie Murphy has seen on this road trip. .208 the average, and that has dropped significantly of late. Donnie in an 0 for 12 run at the moment. That's dropped his average from .238 down some 30 points. 1 ball, no strikes. Hisashi Iwakuma, 62 pitches as he works with 1 out here in the 5th inning. 1-1 to Murphy. Donnie today making his 5th start as the DH. I mentioned he was originally scheduled to play third base, but Beltre said no, I'm going to hang on to it. Towering fly ball left field down the line. Left fielder Ackley comes in and just in fair territory makes the grab for out number 2. Now going back to the last out of the bottom of the 4th inning. How about this catch by Alex Rios?
Yeah, it was an easy catch if no one else was there, but with Sardinas kind of shielding him a little bit, the ball hits in his glove and then barely stays in the tip of his glove as he gets it back in. And Alex took a little look at Sardinas, who was almost to the warning track by the time he stopped running.
I think he was as surprised as I was to see Sardinas out there.
I think he probably was. But yeah, I give Sardinas credit. He didn't want that ball to drop either. He was going to go as fast as he could, which is his job to do. Maybe he'll be one of those guys like Omar Vizquel who can go back and make spectacular plays with his back to the plate.
I think Alex is still trying to convince Louis that sometimes you got to just let it happen to the veteran outfielders. You don't want to get too close to them. 1-1 the count to Leonis Martin. He gets fisted, a little roller down to first. Underhand flip to Iwakuma, and it's a very easy and quick 1-2-3 inning. Rangers gone in the 5th. We're halfway through the ball game. It's the Rangers 1 and the Mariners nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. Neil Kotz on the 26th of June at the Euless Whataburger location on Airport Freeway. Don't miss this chance to win great prizes and to meet one of your Texas Rangers at Whataburger. Bottom of the 5th inning, Rangers on top 1-0. And it will be the top of the order to face Nick Martinez for the 3rd time today. Andy Chavez, who is 1 for 2 with a double, takes low and outside for ball 1. Chavez doubled in the first, last time up, grounded out to second base. Nick Martinez goes into the wind, and the right-hander deals the 1-0. That will even the count. Mariners have been struck by the injury bug a bit also. Michael Saunders, the latest to be forced to go on the disabled list. They also lost Justin Smoke earlier. Rip and a miss. Good off-speed pitch by Martinez. It's 1-2. And so calling up Jesus Montero to add a little bit to the lineup. Nick Martinez now going past the 70 pitch plateau. 71. He's at 46 strikes, 25 balls so far in that breakdown. High and tight, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chavez, a former Ranger, a veteran outfielder, still runs extremely well. Batting in that leadoff spot for the Mariners today. Hard hit by the dive of Sardinas into right field, a base hit. And the Mariners come back and start it all over again. The leadoff man aboard for the 4th time in 5 innings.
He got the fastball up and out over the plate. He was kind of wailing away at things out of the strike zone. Off-speed pitches down. Got the fastball up and tattooed it past Sardinas in the right center field. Chavez obviously a slasher, a free swinger up there. And get him to expand the strike zone a little bit, which he's done a couple of times today.
Yeah, the first time the Mariners had Chavez aboard with Jones up there. Jones tried to bunt, and he popped out to Beltre. We'll see if Lloyd McClendon has him bunt now with Chavez at first base this time. Now, last time was with Chavez at second and nobody out. Showing bunt and not really squaring around to bunt. He was thinking about trying to drop one down for a base hit. No balls and a strike. Taking a look down at third base coach Rich Donnelly, former Ranger coach, handling third base for McClendon. Chavez, the runner at first. Fastball sails wide. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Rangers, the infield straightaway. Beltre at third, up a couple of steps in front of the cut of the grass. Chavez the lead from first, and Martinez will go that way with a toss. Indy back with a dive. Nothing has come easy this afternoon for Nick Martinez. It has been one inning after another, and pitching out of the stretch way too often, I'm sure, as far as he's concerned. Okay's the sign. He's ready. Changeup, check swing. It floats in for strike 2.
Well, that's a perfect pitch. Seen it called today a couple of times, though. That might be the second time.
Chavez inching off the bag at first. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. On the fist, and Jones able to fight it off foul back to the screen. Still 1-2. Jones 2 out of 5 in last night's ball game. As we showed you in the graphic his last time up, prior to that single. Just in the only 2 hits he'd had in his previous 14 at bats. 1 for 2 this afternoon. He pops this one up. Shallow left, going out Andrews. Elvis making the call and the catch. And back to first goes Chavez. 1 out now, and Robinson Cano coming up. And we'll take a look at the AT&T U-verse rewind for today. And we've been talking about Robinson Cano. Both times up, almost identical. Little tappers right in front of home plate. Trying to pull that outside pitch, and that's something you don't see Robinson Cano do maybe once a month, much less twice in a ball game. And what was that, 4 times in this series, Tom?
He's tapped out in front of the plate 4 times. I'd be surprised if he tries to pull his fastball away this time after those first two at-bats that he's had.
It'd be tough to try and pull that one.
Yeah, he might have been thinking he's going to try and throw me away again. Not sure he was ready to get out of the way of that pitch if it was farther inside than that.
Cano 0 for 2 today. He's got Chavez at first. Rangers looking for a ground ball double play would be very nice right about now. Going inside, 2 balls, no strikes. Cano at 328. Chavez, the runner at first after a leadoff single. He's there 1 out later. Cano this year has grounded into 6 double plays, so not unheard of. Taken all the way, and the pitch outside, 3-0. Well, Cano threatening to get aboard and join Chavez with 1 out. Logan Morrison, the cleanup hitter, waits in the on-deck circle. 3-0 pitch. And low, ball 4. That puts 2 men aboard with 1 out. It brings Mike Maddox out of the Ranger dugout. That is the first walk allowed today by Nick Martinez. So runners at first and second with Logan Morrison coming up. Mike Maddox, first visit he has made to the mound today, and trying to refocus Nick Martinez and Chris Jimenez, get them together on what they want to do with Logan Morrison. Morrison is lined to left field and grounded to third. So 0 for 2 today, but a veteran hitter that you get concerned about in situations where a base hit can do some damage. Well, the conference concluded after home plate umpire Phil Cuzzy went out there to try and speed things up, or maybe he went out to put in his 2 cents worth. Our Budweiser pitching line on Nick Martinez today. A shutout through 4 1/3 on 8 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. But again, in some hot water here in the 5th inning. Got 2 aboard with 1 out and having to deal with Logan Morrison. Rangers on an overshift on the infield. Change up on the first pitch, and Morrison up there looking for a fastball, didn't get it. It is 0-1. Morrison again, not a lot of at bats this year with runners in scoring position. He's been on the disabled list for the better part of 2 months, but he has Chavez at second, Cano at first with 1 out here in the 5th inning.
This will be the 5th inning if Nick gets out of this inning where he's stranded men in scoring position every inning.
That ball is way up in the air. It's going to be an infield fly rule in effect as Elvis kind of staggers around back there and makes the grab. That is out number 2.
And at least at this point, kind of a futile attempt by the Mariners when they have had men in scoring position. There's a man on second in the first and third in the second in the third, first and third in the fourth, and first and second right now in the 5th.
Now Nick Martinez, though, is faced with not a real good prospect. He's got a deal to Kyle Seager, and Seager has hit 2 ropes against him today.
Yeah, I would go away from the fastball away. He's proved that he can hit that in this game. Both fastballs away have been smoked into left center field for base hits.
Especially if you're going to throw it up there belt high.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not a good spot for it.
No.
So Seager 2 for 2. The batting average down at 253. Rangers pulled around to the right on the infield, and the first pitch is a changeup that floats in for strike 1.
That's a good idea. Last 2 guys have had changeups for strike 1.
Seager hitting about 15 points higher with runners in scoring position than his overall average. He's got Chavez at second, Cano at first. 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. Oh! 1 ball and 1 strike. Pretty good idea to get a hitter to move his feet in that 0-1 pitch. If you want to come back inside again, try to hit the inside corner with a strike. Might catch Seager looking away. 1-1 pitch for Martinez.
Nice.
Base hit to right field. That is going to score at least 1. Cano being waved around third. He is going to score, and the Mariners on a 2-run double by Seager have turned the score around. It's 2-1 Seattle.
3 straight ropes by Seager. First 2 were to left center. That looked like a fastball in, and he pulled that one.
He tried to get it in. I don't think it ever got there, did it?
Let's take a look. Not really. Middle of the plate, inside part of the plate, but probably not quite as far in as he wanted to get it. Seager just swings the bat against the Rangers. That's all you can say. 3 for 3 with 3 ropes today, and we've seen that act before.
Well, the Mariners finally able to get to Nick Martinez here in the 5th inning. 2 runs across. Mike Zunino, who has struck out both times, was after the first pitch and lost a fly ball to right. Backing up a few steps, Alex Rios puts it away, and that'll do it. But the damage is done. 2 runs on 2 hits and a walk. They leave 1. After 5, it's now the Mariners 2 and the Rangers 1. It's time now for the Sonic Slam Inning, brought to you by Sonic. Today's jackpot is worth $100 and dinner for 2 at Sonic Drive-In. Today, the Rangers are hitting for Douglas Ray of Irving. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, Douglas Ray of Irving will win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Well, the Rangers playing from behind now. They are down 2-1, just the second time in this series they have been down by a run. Able to come back in last night's game after falling behind in the 5th inning, just as they have today. John Buck enters the ball game, and he takes over at first base. Logan Morrison out of the lineup with Buck taking over as Elvis Andrus steps in to start off the Rangers 6th. The pitch from Iwakuma is up and in for ball 1. Elvis, a strikeout, and reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd inning. Chopper outside third. That's a foul ball. And the count evens at 1-1. Well, Elvis hitting at an even 260, trying to get aboard to start this Rangers 6th inning. Mariners 2 runs on 9 hits. They have played errorless ball. The Rangers a run on 4 hits. Also have committed no miscues. That pitch up and in to Andrews. And the count goes to 2-1. Hisashi Iwakuma, that was his 70th pitch this afternoon. Right-hander rocks and deals. Outside, 3-1. Elvis trying to get aboard for the middle of the order. Shin-Soo Choo will be next. Right 3-1 offering. And Elvis taking all the way. The count is full.
I mentioned that Iwakuma has started 8 times this year, and 4 times he hasn't walked the batter. On the season, he's only walked 6.
Line drive, right center field. That's down for a base hit. Over to cut it off Jones, and Elvis has his first hit of the afternoon. A leadoff single here in the Rangers 6th, and the Rangers have the tying run aboard with nobody out. Let's take time here for a Mazda game break. Once again, here's Dana Larson. Dana? All right, Dana, thank you. Well, that'll be the next stop down at Odotco Coliseum for the Rangers take on the A's. But first, here in Seattle, trying to get back at least even with the Mariners. Rangers trail 2-1. Shin-Soo Choo 0 for 2 this afternoon. He has struck out and tapped out in front of home plate. Elvis Andrus aboard with the fifth Ranger hit of the afternoon, a leadoff single. Has that lead at first as Iwakuma checks him.
Yeah, that's good.
1 ball and 1 strike. Jew checking with Gary Pettis down at third base for the Rangers. Elvis Andrus stepping out leadoff. 1-1 pitch. Instead, Iwakuma backs off the back of the pitching rubber. Shin-Soo, a 3-game hitting streak coming into play today. 400 hitter over those 3 games. Trying to add 1 to his resume in this at bat. There goes Elvis. The pitch is low. The throw is in time. They got it. Elvis shot down, trying to swipe second. Good throw by Zunino and a quick tag by Brad Miller.
Well, Zunino made the throw strongly and accurately. A great look at it right here. Right on the bag, and there's the tag right on the hand.
The pitch was a ball, so it's 2-1 now to Choo. And now 3 balls and a strike. Shin-Soo trying to get bored with 1 out. The Ranger cleanup hitter Adrian Beltre to follow. Iwakuma back to the plate. Skied to shallow left field into foul territory. Ackley takes the deck. Shoe got one down toward the trademark, it looked like. Fouls out, 2 gone, and Adrian coming up with the bases empty. Robbie Ross Jr. loosening in the Ranger bullpen. Adrian has gotten jammed a couple of times this afternoon and make that 3. Iwakuma got inside, and Seager throws out his counterpart, Beltre. The leadoff single with the caught stealing erased Elvis. 5.5 in the books. It's the Mariners 2, the Rangers 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealer. Take the EcoBoost Challenge to see why Ford is the best in Texas. Nick Martinez going to work against Dustin Ackley here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Drops a breaking ball in. 0-1. Ackley has doubled and been out on a nice diving play by Luis Sardinas, the Rangers' second baseman. 1 out of 2. Ackley hitting it .233. Pitch outside. It is 2-1 or 1-1. Mariners 2 runs on 9 hits. Rangers a run on 5 hits. Now 1-2. Martinez to the wide, and Ackley slices a fly ball to left field. Shin-Soo Choo there to put it away. 1 gone, and Willie Bloomquist coming up. Nick Martinez making a good pitch to Ackley to get the leadoff hitter for just the 2nd time in 6 innings today. Bloomquist has had infield singles each of his first 2 times up. He had one up the middle with the runner at second that Elvis flagged down and had no play on. And last time up, same thing, except he grounded into the hole that Elvis made the play on.
And both those plays put men on first and third. And then Nick was able to get Brad Miller for the last out both times. All right, I like that. Ear protectors.
Different kind of earmuffs.
Rangers got to Fernando Rodney last night for a run. Pegged him with a loss.
Apparently he's not available today. He's in the dugout. Oh, 0-2 is the count to Bloomquist. Got him looking. Fastball right on the outside corner, and Bloomquist left standing there like a statue. And that bat on his shoulder, he said, "You got to be kidding."
Nope. Hi, Buzz.
Well, folks, we'd like to invite you to join us at On the Border for dinner every Tuesday night through August 26th. You can also enter to win free Rangers tickets and a VIP experience. Just visit otbfanzone.com for more details. Nick Martinez with his third strikeout of the afternoon. 2 up, 2 away. And Brad Miller takes the pitch outside for ball 1. Miller is popped to short and flied to right field. Again to right field.
That's the same ball that he caught last time.
Yeah, Sardina's staying away from it this time. It's Alex Rios able to make the catch, and for the first time today, Nick Martinez sends the Mariners down in order. We're going to the 7th inning. Mariners leading 2-1. Not a lot of offense in the ball games here at Safeco. A 2-1 Mariner lead through 6th inning. Brad Snyder accounting for the only Ranger run, his first career Major League home run. Kyle Seager, meanwhile, 3 for 3, a pair of singles and a double, and he drove home both Mariner runs in that 5th inning. Again, happy Father's Day to all of you. Hope you're enjoying your day here on this Sunday as Alex Rios takes a breaking ball for strike 1. Rios twice today has grounded to third base. Iwakuma with his 81st pitch of the afternoon. This is low and outside. A ball and a strike. Rios a .325 hitter. Next pitch to him. And another ground ball to third. Pop came up nicely to about belt high for Seager. And Alex Rios continues that streak of grounding out to third base. 3 straight times that Seager has gotten the Ranger right fielder. 1 gone for Brad Snyder.
No, you hear it said all the time that pitching is about disrupting the timing of the hitter, changing speeds, and Iwakuma definitely does that. He also commands his pitches extremely well, throws them where he wants to, and he has excellent movement on all his pitches, whether it's his splitter that drops, his sinker which tails down and into a right-hand hitter. He's got a good slider, so he's really what being a good pitcher is all about. He knows what he's doing out there. Veteran, 33 years old.
0-1 pitch to Snyder. It's low and inside. Well, here are three things you really need to know about Hisashi Iwakuma. He's 2013 Mariner Pitcher of the Year. He played in the 2004 Olympics for Japan. Also the 09 World Baseball Classic Championship team. Nicknamed Kuma, which is Japanese for bear. And he is a bear today for the Rangers to handle.
I'll say.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
Rangers have not had 2 men on base at the same time. They had a couple of hits in 1 inning, but one of them was a home run by Brad. He's got another base hit, which is a rope up the middle.
Fastball is high. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
They put a little extra on that one. There's
Yeah.
this 91-mile-an-hour fastball. He throws what he needs to throw.
Saving it for the appropriate time.
Yeah.
Iwakuma to the wind, the 2-2 pitch. Hard hit, but this one at the first baseman, John Buck. He will underhand to Iwakuma, and that'll do it for the Rangers. Well, 3 up, or 2 up, and 2 away, and Chris Jimenez coming up.
That's the third good at bat for Brad Snyder. That was a splitter. It stayed up a little bit. Then he hit that right on the barrel of the bat, too. He hit it right at the first baseman. He got a home run, a rope up the middle, and a hard hit out.
Chris Jimenez coming up, and Chevron would like to remind you of the pitching matchup tomorrow night down the coast in Oakland. Colby Lewis takes his 4-4 record to the hill against Drew Pomerantz and the hot Oakland A's. Pomerantz, as Tom told you, into the starting rotation and very much a surprise. I'm not sure anybody's a surprise anymore with Oakland. They come up with guys that just they plug them in and they expect them to do well.
They seem to play better there than they do other places.
Breaking ball catches the outside corner, and Jimenez now down on the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Chris Jimenez 1 for 2 this afternoon against Iwakuma. Right-hander to the plate. And a ground ball foul down the third base side. We'll come back and try it again. Iwakuma just now at the 90 pitch level. He's working with 2 outs in the 7th inning. Another 0-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go around? No, he did not. Jerry Davis, the crew chief and first base umpire. Very demonstrative no swing sign from Jerry Davis. 1-2. Got him swinging. Oh, Iwakuma, a 1-2-3 inning, and the Rangers are gone. 7th inning stretch time with the Mariners leading 2-1. And now please join the public address announcer as he introduces God Bless America to the crowd on this Father's Day at Safeco.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you now to please rise and join us in honoring our great country with the singing of God Bless America. Please welcome back Morgan Smith.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
youngest and best together in Minnesota as Derek Jeter takes the field for his last All-Star game in his illustrious career. It promises to be an emotional and unforgettable night. Special coverage begins at 4:30 on Fox Sports 1, followed by the 2014 All-Star game at 7:30 on Fox. And then later tonight, make sure to look for the latest All-Star ballot results for the National League. And you can find that on ESPN's Sunday Night Baseball coverage. And the All-Star leaderboard, Ford leaderboard, the all-time vote leaders in All-Star history. Ken Griffey Jr. with over 50 million. And Derek Jeter second with 44.5 million. That's a lot of votes. I got to think they stuffed the ballot box. They do that.
Popular guys.
Yep.
Good players. Hall of Famers.
Robbie Ross Jr. has come into the ballgame to take over for the Rangers here in the 7th inning. Chavez lines one to left, but right there is Shin-Soo Choo staying with that sinking and slicing line drive to corral it for out number 1.
Well, Chavez definitely goes up there to swing the bat. He hasn't walked yet this year. In fact, he's one of those guys, his batting average is higher than his on-base percentage.
Saw the numbers for Robbie Ross. Trying to settle back into the bullpen after beginning the year in the starting rotation. One out here, James Jones, who is 1 for 3, steps in. First pitch low and outside for ball 1. Jones, a 3rd inning single. Other than that, he has popped up a bunt and popped one to short. Slaps that one out of play down the left side. That moves the count to a ball and a strike. 39,196 on hand here this afternoon to enjoy a Father's Day outing at Safeco Field. 2-1 as Ross misses low and inside. Robbie working quickly. And misses outside. 3-1. Jones trying to get aboard with 1 out. Robinson Cano, the DH, is waiting in the on-deck circle. All 4. Robbie Ross with a 1-out walk has Jones aboard with Cano coming up. Time now for a Mazda game break. Once again, here's Dana Larson. Dana? All right, Dana, thank you. Boy, a little Big 12 action in Omaha.
Big 12 had a great season this year. No better team in the country the last couple of months than TCU.
First pitch to Cano is laced out of play on the left side. 0-1. Cano 0 for 2, but a big walk. The only walk that Nick Martinez issued was in the 5th inning to Cano. It came with 1 out, put 2 runners aboard, and then 1 out later, Kyle Seager drove in the 2 Seattle runs with a double into the right field corner. Another one out of play down the left side. 0-2 to Cano. Robinson Cano, 3 out of 9 in his career against Robbie Ross. One of those 3, a double. You got James Jones, the runner at first base. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Jones on the move, and the pitch is fouled away to the left.
Had no idea where that ball was.
Jones retreating to first. 0-2 to Cano. Robinson a .328 average as he faces Ross in this 7th inning. Should be a double play. Elvis will turn it over back to first. 4-6-3. And the Rangers turn their 69th double play of the year. That'll do it for the Mariners in the 7th. On to the 8th we go. 2-1 Seattle.
Dad, a happy Father's Day to you, and what a great way to spend Father's Day watching your son play Major League Baseball. Hasn't gotten in yet, but boy, it's great to be here, isn't it?
Yeah, we're really hoping to see his first pitch. That would really complete the picture for us, and what a Father's Day that would be, huh?
As soon as you knew he got called up, you came out here all the way from Buffalo, hey?
If I could have got on a plane Wednesday to see him in Dallas, we'd have been there, but that didn't work, so first thing we were going to do was be here in Seattle, and yeah, work's been really get out of here, go see him play, and we took advantage of it, so it's been great.
That's awesome, and I got to believe there's lots of Father's Day memories and baseball memories as you think about him getting to this level.
Yeah, you know, it's been for Ben, it's been a really long, tough road for him. He's enjoyed it. He's had to work over every obstacle, and this reward for him, I mean, just to see it on his face makes Father's Day really special.
That's awesome. We appreciate it. Happy Father's Day to you, Mike. Thanks very much. Let's get it back to you guys.
You know, one of the many, many Father's Day stories, I think if you talk to every Ranger player and every Mariner player, they'd each have one that they could share with you that would be very, very touching. 2-1 the count to Luis Sardinas. He slaps one the other way for a base hit. Ackley over to cut it off. Sardinas will hang on with the leadoff single, but the Rangers have the tying run aboard with nobody out, very much as they did with Sardinas' base hit in the 9th inning yesterday.
Well, Luis continues to hold his own offensively. Slap a hit here, slap a hit there. Came into the game right at 300. He's 1 for 3 in this game, a close game. Leads off the 8th inning with a base hit. That's pretty much all you're asking for right there. You know what Ben's dad is referring to, Buzz, as you well know, with Ben, is he wasn't a high draft choice. He's not a hard thrower. He probably wasn't looked at as a top prospect when he first signed. He's had to earn it every step of the way at every level of the minor leagues. And it has to be very rewarding for him to get to the big leagues. And it'll be obviously a great moment when he finally gets into a ball game as well.
Ben, part of that Ranger bullpen out there.
It's hard for parents of a relief pitcher to get to see the first game unless you're willing and able to stay there for a while. You know, you might get lucky, and the first day you get there, Ben might get into a game, but depending on the way the games unfold and who's had work and who hasn't had work, it could be days before circumstances present themselves for him to get into a ball game. Well, hopefully they'll be able to stick with the team and be there when he finally gets into a ball game.
Iwakuma with a 1-1 pitch. A rip and a miss by Donnie Murphy. He's down in the count now. A ball and 2 strikes. Murphy today has struck out and fly to left field. Billy Furbush, the left-hander. Yoelvis Medina, the right-hander, loosening in that Seattle bullpen. Rangers trying to make some noise here in the 8th inning today. They have Sardinas at first with nobody out. 2-2 now to Murphy.
100 pitches right now for Iwakuma.
Right-hander. A look over his left shoulder at first. Sardinas inching off from the bag. And Murphy gone on strikes. Punch out number 6 for Iwakuma. 1 away. And Leonis Martin coming up. Well, Iwakuma has a pitch total high this year of 108. That was his last start against the Yankees. That's certainly not uncharted territory for him. Leonis Martin up there, 1 for 3 today. And a 3rd inning single. Other than that, he is fouled out and grounded to first. A little chopper foul on the count to 0-1. Leonis at 268 with the average. Rangers trailing 2-1. They have been out hit 9-6 today. Sardinas after the leadoff single at first with 1 out. Ground ball pulled to the right side. The only play that Bloomquist has is to first. Martin out, but into scoring position now with 2 outs is Luis Sardinas, and Elvis Andrus will come to the plate.
Well, Sardinas got on base last night with a base hit, moved to second, and then scored on a base hit by Martin. Maybe he'll do the same thing with Elvis tonight. Elvis does have a base hit his last time up, 1 for 3 on the night. For his 17th RBI, it'd be a big one. Tie this ball game up.
Elvis hit a rope into right center field his last time up. A 1 for 3, that average up to 263. Infield plays him a step around to the left. The outfield a step around to the right. Breaking ball hangs inside to him. 1 ball and no strikes. Iwakuma does not have a complete game in his major league career. One 0 pitch.
Movement on that sinker just has had the Ranger hitters swinging over the top of it all day long. Comes in low, sinks even lower, and tails in just a little bit to the right-hand hitters. Take a look at it, and the swing is usually right over the top of it.
Iwakuma a couple of looks at second. The 1-1 pitch to Andrews. Got him on the fist and a roller out to Buck at first. He will underhand to Iwakuma at the bag, and that'll do it. Rangers get a leadoff single but can't do anything, and Sardinas left stranded. After 7.5, the Mariners 2, the Rangers 1 on Fox Sports Southwest.
complete the sweep here in Seattle. They got to get another run or two to get that thing accomplished. John Radigan back here at Safeco Field, and Robbie Ross back out on the mound, and this entire traveling party heads down the coast to Oakland, California for a game tomorrow. Coco Crisp doing very well against the Rangers this year, but let's not forget the Rangers are undefeated in Oakland this year. They swept the A's, the only other series in Oakland so far this season. Let's see if they can keep that going tomorrow. For now, we got to finish this one. Buzz, back up to you in town.
All right, John, and John Buck promptly loops the first pitch that he sees here in the 8th inning to right field, a leadoff single off of Robbie Ross Jr. And Buck will, just like that, be replaced by Cole Gillespie as a pinch runner. Gillespie off the bench now, coming on to take the place of Buck at first. Kyle Seager stepping to the plate, 3 for 3 today. A pair of singles and a double. The double driving home both Seattle runs. That came back in the 5th inning. Seager has upped his batting average now to .256. And he rifles one again down the right field line. That is going to the corner. Gillespie being waved around third. The throw comes into Sardinas. They will have no play at the plate. And Kyle Seager has done it again. He has doubled for the second straight time. And he has driven in all 3 Seattle runs as the Mariners lead it 3-1.
He'll murder that breaking ball or a pitch up and on the inner part of the plate. Let's see what he gets here. It looks like a breaking ball, and that's the wrong spot to most left-hand hitters, definitely to Seager. Robbie's trying to throw that ball, I'm sure, down and away, but it stays up and in, and there's the result. Another rope by Seager. One thing to get 4 hits. Usually there's maybe a chopper through the infield or a ball that's not hit that well. All 4 of these balls have been hit right on the sweet spot of the bat. Every one of them hit hard.
And Zunino shoots one to left field. That's a base hit. Seager stopping at third. Well, Zunino picked on the first pitch, and he just hit a bullet to left. The runners at the corner, still nobody out. Mike Maddox on his way out to the mound very quickly. Zunino with his first hit of the afternoon, and Mike Maddox a slow walk to the mound as action will begin in the Ranger bullpen.
Ben Rowan out there.
Well, folks, Fox Sports Southwest and the Texas Rangers are bringing you summer savings. You can purchase $34 all-you-can-eat seats or $28 corner box seats for select games in June, July, and August. Just visit TexasRangers.com/specials and use the coupon code Fox Sports. Well, Mike Maddox finished with the visit to Robbie Ross Jr. and Dustin Ackley will step in. Ackley is 1 for 3 today. He's got Seager at third, Zunino at first. Rangers with nobody out will play the infield back. If they had a chance of the double play, they would give up the run to get the 2 outs. 1 ball, no strikes. As Ross misses off the inside corner. Ackley's double came back in the 2nd inning. He had a bullet off the wall in right field. Ben Rowan loosening. And don't you know the butterflies are churning out there in the Ranger bullpen.
And in the stands with Ben's
dad. And in the stands, that's right. One and one to Ackley. Ross a check of first. Looper to center. That is falling in a hurry. It's down for a hit. In to score is Seager. On to second is Zunino, and Ackley with the RBI makes it a 4-1 Mariner lead.
jammed him. He got it in on his fist, and he just fought it off and blooped it in for the RBI.
Ron Washington on his way to the mound, and that's going to do it for Robbie Ross Jr. And we are going to see Ben Rowan's Major League debut here this afternoon. So the Rowan family not only celebrating Father's Day with Ben's dad in attendance, they are going to celebrate it with a great gift. Ben Rowan's Major League debut is coming up. Pitching change underway. We'll tell you all about it when we come back to Safeco with the Mariners leading 4-1. Right-hander on to make his Major League debut in front of his family here in Safeco. Rowan, who grew up down in Southern California at Ranchos Palos Verdes High School, where he attended school, and then he went to the Rangers organization. Back in 2010, he was the 22nd round selection by the Rangers in that draft. So on here to make his Major League debut, and you see the numbers at AAA for him this year.
Yeah, good solid numbers. If I remember right, he had one bad outing that probably resulted in most of his ERA. There's Dad, Mom, and family.
Willie Bloomquist, the first batter that Ben Rowan will face, and a butt is dropped down. It's a foul ball. Looks like that ball bounced up and hit Bloomquist while he was still in the batter's box, so it's 0-1. Ben Rowan will not light up a radar gun. He doesn't throw much harder than low 80s with a fastball and a kind of an upshoot breaking ball, if you will, that's in the mid-70s, low to mid-70s. Tough to adjust to, though, I would think, for guys that have not seen him very much before.
You just don't get to practice or hit against guys that throw from that angle.
Again, around to bunt, and the pitch on the outside corner. Bloomquist not agreeing with Phil Cuzzi, but he's down in the count now, 0-2.
Well, maybe Phil will change his mind then.
Bloomquist checking with Rich Donnelly, the third base coach, see what Lloyd McClendon might want for him to do. There's Mike Rowan, Ben's dad, there on the right side. Recording it all for posterity. A great moment for the Rowan family. The bunt is down, and Rowan has one play to first. Got to hurry, and just does get it.
Wow, that was close. Nice two-strike bunt by Bloomquist.
Mike Rowan looking at that thing, and Yep. Got that one out of the way.
Well, they're going to come out and maybe they've seen a replay of it. Let's find out.
Lloyd McClendon going out to talk to Jerry Davis, the first base umpire, and he was asking him, "You want to use your challenge?" And Lloyd McClendon said, "Yeah, we want to go ahead and challenge that thing." So Jerry Davis and the home plate umpire Phil Cuzzy will go over and get the headphones on, listen to the replay command center in New York City. Umpires back there will look at all the video and make the determination whether the call is upheld or whether it stands at first base or whether it needs to be overturned. That's your official call there?
Yeah.
You've seen the replay? Okay. Yeah, I would agree with you.
Go grab some pine. Bloomquist knew he was out in the first place.
Yep. Ball in the glove before. That didn't take long. About 40 seconds or so. And
yep, that's all it deserved.
Most of that time was the walk down to get the headphones.
Even I knew he was out. I'm the worst umpire in baseball.
So the call is confirmed. Video evidence telling you that the call was correct. That is out number one with Zunino over to third, Ackley to second. And with one out now, the Rangers will pull the infield all the way in with Brad Miller stepping in. Miller 0 for 3 today. A pop out, a couple of fly balls to right field. And the first pitch is outside for ball one. Miller currently hitting at 176. 4 home runs, 15 driven in. Ben Rowan trying to keep this a 3-run deficit that the Rangers face. 4-1 Seattle. 1-0 pitch is on the way. The bunt is down and fouled as the squeeze was on. Zunino making a late break from third, but he was going to get there. If the bunt had been fair, there would have been no play on him at the plate. So Lloyd McClendon trying to advance it to a 4-run lead and couldn't quite get it done as Miller fouled the bunt off. A ball and a strike. Check swing. The pitch low and outside. It's 2 balls and a strike. Throwing a tall, angular right-hander, 6'4", and he's listed 190 pounds. Next pitch on the way. Sky to left field. That should be deep enough. Zunino tagging at third. The catch is made. The throw is not in time. Sliding in safely ahead of the tag by Chris Jimenez is Mike Zunino. And the sacrifice fly makes it a 5-1 Seattle lead. And Dustin Ackley on to third base. He's there now with 2 outs. And with Chavez coming up, let's head back to the studio. Dana Larson, a preview of Rangers Live coming up. All right, Dana, thank you. The Mariners have widened the lead now. They lead by 4. It is 5-1 Seattle. Andy Chavez up for his 5th at bat of the day. He is 2 for 4 so far. He's got Ackley at third base with 2 outs. Ben Rowan deals a fastball in at the belt. It is 1-1.
Andy Chavez didn't like the call, but here's a guy that hasn't walked all year. He's been up 46 times without a walk. Not exactly a discerning hitter. You're probably mad he didn't hack at it.
Rangers, of course, back at normal depth now with 2 outs. Rowan from the belt, and the pitch is fouled back. It's that low 70s breaking ball that Ben Rowan will feature. 1-2 to Chavez. Rowan okays the sign. The right-hander is set. Chopper to third. Beltre charging. And he wheels one sidearm on to first. That'll do it. But the Mariners come up with 3 runs on 4 hits and strand 1. And the Father's Day in the books for the Rowan family. 5-1 Seattle. So in just a moment, we'd like to give you a look at our AT&T fan photo of the day. This has been selected from the multitude of photos that have been sent in to us. This from Bruce, and great shot out there at Globe Life Park. Thanks, Bruce. We appreciate you sending that in to us. You all would like to send along your photos. Hashtag Southwest Fan Photo. Tweet it on over to us. We will pick one for each Rangers telecast on Fox Sports Southwest. And the 9th inning has arrived now, and Charlie Furbush, the left-hander, has come out of the Mariner bullpen to take over on the hill.
Well, Fernando Rodney was warming up and probably would have come in if it stayed a save situation. When the save opportunity disappeared, Charlie Furbush, who was also warming up, is the one that got the nod to come in to appear in his 29th ball game.
So with Furbush coming on, Lloyd McClendon has had to dispense with the designated hitter today. Robinson Cano taking the field. He had been the DH, so the DH no longer in force. Cano will play at second. Furbush will hit in the number 4 spot in the order, and Willie Bloomquist moving from second over to first. It'll be Shin-Soo Choo to start things off. Rangers trailing by 4. They need a little more 9th inning magic than they've been able to muster the last 2 games. Had 1 run in each of the last 2 9th innings they've had against the Mariners. They'll need 4 times that here to catch up. Shin-Soo 0 for 2, or 0 for 3 today, I should say. Pitch from Furbush in at the knees. It is 0-2. Choo at .259 for the season. Rangers held to 6 base hits by Hisashi Iwakuma through the first 8 innings. 1-2 now. The only run of the afternoon for the Rangers came on Brad Snyder's first major league home run back in the second inning. Iwakuma in 8 innings gave up 6 hits. That 1 run with 6 strikeouts. 1-2 as Furbush studies the sign. Call strike 3. Furbush got the outside corner and throws Shin-Soo Choo. 1 gone.
Well, Furbush got a good fastball. It can reach 93 or 94 miles an hour. He just painted the outside corner with that fastball. Looks like he'd be extremely tough on left-hand hitters.
Now Adrian Beltre, who was also 0 for 3, steps in. Beltre has grounded out a couple times with fly outs.
As a matter of fact, he hasn't been that tough on lefties. Looking it up, lefties have hit .306 against Furbush.
That would have
doesn't necessarily meet the eye. Right-hand hitters .244. So there.
Go figure.
Gotta look at the numbers before we come up with our cliches.
Adrian Beltre takes inside. The count goes to 2-0. Adrian batting at .311 as he faces Furbush. Bases empty. 1 out in the top of the 9th inning. Chopper foul down the third base side. Beltre sounded like he cracked the bat. He checked it and there was no damage done. 2-1 as Beltre gets back into the batter's box. A young man, and he got the Father's Day present, not his dad. Maybe his dad will get that later on. Next pitch to Adrian. 3-1. Beltre with 1 out, trying to get aboard. Rangers need a couple of base runners. Alex Rios, waiting in the on-deck circle, hopes to be one behind Beltre. Furbush back to the plate. Beltre fouls it straight back. The count is full. Well, Iwakuma didn't walk anybody today, as is his custom. Furbush trying to keep that streak going against the Rangers. The left-hander okays the sign. He is ready to work. Hit well to center field. Jones going back, still going back, reaches up and hauls it in.
He misplayed it just a little bit. I don't think he thought it was going to go that far. He was kind of going sideways after it and then realized he better go back a little bit. And he has the athletic ability and the speed to make this little adjustment. And runs it down. Number 99 in deep center field makes that play.
Well, that ball was tattooed by Beltre.
Sure was.
Now the Rangers are now down to their last out. Alex Rios trying to prolong things. Rios 3 times this afternoon has grounded out to Kyle Seager, the third baseman. First pitch to him. Here's a fastball right down the middle for strike 1. Rangers 3-game winning streak on the line here today, and despite the fact they've already won this series against Seattle by winning the first 2, trying to come back for a sweep. They're down now to their last strike in that effort. 0-2 the count to Rios. Crowd of just over 39,000, 39,196, and almost every one of them on their feet. Furbush with the 0-2. Line to left field. Ackley toward the line, makes the catch, and that'll do it. Well, the Rangers hit the ball sharply a couple of times in the ninth, but Furbush gets 3 outs. The Rangers go down to defeat, and their 3-game winning streak has screeched to a halt. Well, the Mariners win this their finale, I should say, of this series by a 5-1 score. And the Rangers now drop back down to 1 game under 500. The Mariners advance to a game over 500 and open up a 1-game lead over Texas in the American League West. We'll be back to Safeco to wrap things up for you right after this on Fox Sports Southwest.